What's up, everybody? This is Dr. Nick with Leverage Media, and today I want to talk to you about step 3 in the Never Lose a Customer Again process of the 8. This is Affirm. So if you've heard me talking about Never Lose a Patient Again, this is going to be a free online training that I'm doing with the author, Joey Coleman, author of Never Lose a Customer Again. And so this training, we're going to dive deep into his process, but it's going to be specific to a chiropractic office and a patient experience. So hopefully you'll join us for that. So today I want to talk to you about the Affirm stage. So we've done the first two where the patient has done the assess. They have now admitted that they have a problem that you can help. They felt that euphoria of saying yes. And now we're into the Affirm stage. And this is the part where that fear, that doubt, that uncertainty can start to creep in. People have made bad decisions in the past. They have been tricked before. They have probably been scammed before. So now they're wondering, did I make another bad decision? And it is your duty to make sure that you're stepping into that void and you're making sure that they feel great about that decision. Because once they leave your practice, they're going back into the world, they're going back home, they're going back to their friends and their family who may be doubting those decisions, who may tell them that they were stupid for deciding to do that, right? And so it's important for us to further support them in the decision that they've made to improve their health. So a lot of people in the admit stage, we talked about how that's probably in the day 2 for most practices where they've presented the report of findings and the person has decided to start some type of care. Usually this is when they get their first adjustment is on that day 2. So the opportunity, so basically this stage is from the moment that they say yes, that they want to start care, to the next interaction, which is more of like a normal visit. So the third day in a practice is probably a lot more like the 100th day in a practice than day 1 or 2. So so this step is really that gap in between day 2 and day 3. So what can you do in that moment to help assuage any type of doubt or uncertainty or buyer's remorse that might be creeping in? So one of the biggest things that a lot of chiropractors have done, probably since the beginning of chiropractic, well, not since the beginning of chiropractic, because I don't think they had phones back then, is the phone call after the first adjustment. So a lot of times when people get adjusted for the first time in your practice, it might be the first time they've ever gotten adjusted, right? So they might feel amazing. They might feel terrible. They might feel no difference. So being able to touch base with them and just see where they're at, tell them that whatever is going on is probably normal. Like every situation that could happen has probably happened in your career. And it just depends on how their body's going to react. But making sure that this is the only time that they've experienced that though, right? So being sure that you're checking in with them. If they do have any soreness, you really want to make sure that you're having that conversation just to give them some tips that they can do at home. Hopefully you've taken care of that when you delivered the adjustment or after you delivered the adjustment. But just, following up with them, checking in. There's so much automation that is available to us now with text messages and videos being sent out, that just making sure that you're in contact with them and that you try to get them scheduled for that next appointment as soon as possible, because you don't want that to go a week and then they've got a whole week of well, did I make the right decision, right? Now, most people are going to be coming in with some type of acute situation, so they're probably going to be on some multiple time a week care plan anyway. But just having a process that you and your staff every single time after that day 2, but between day 2 and day 3, that every time that is happening, that you are reaching out to them, that they're feeling supported, whether it's a video of what to expect on the next visit to get them prepared for more of a normal visit. And we'll talk about how you can help onboard them into more of the regular visits in the next stage. But this is such an important part because we lose a lot of patients in this step because they just kind of go out into the void and they, start talking to somebody else and they tell them it's a bad decision. That's when you get the phone call of, oh, you know what? I talked to my husband. We can't afford it right now. And then you're backpedaling and you're trying to talk people out of a decision that they've already made. So it's better to be proactive about that, be supportive, maybe this is a time, maybe you should be talking to them before they leave the office. Hey, listen, if your husband or if your wife has any concerns or any questions, here's my cell phone number. Please reach out to us. I'd be happy to talk through anything. That way you can even say, like, a lot of people when they leave here, you went through the day 1 and day 2 process. What happens now is that people go home, and the people that weren't there for the day 2 and day 1 and day 2 process, they start to have their own opinions and maybe tell people that they're wrong. And so we get people sometimes that call us and want to reverse the decision that they just made. So honestly, like, just being upfront and honest about that, and just letting them know that that's a possibility, and that here's what you can do about it, and here's what we're going to do to help support you in that. So just be thinking through that. This is such an important step, and I can't wait for Joey to add his expertise in. Tuesday, May 5th, 7 p.m. Central. Go to neverloseapatientagain.com. Joey's such a genius, and he's going to be able to help us go through each one of these 8 steps and really hone in on the things that are so important. So for like what I just talked about, as a chiropractor, there are certain things that we know that maybe other people that aren't chiropractors just don't know. And so that's why I wanted to do this training together, so that Joey has his genius, I have my chiropractic knowledge, and together we can create an amazing patient experience for all of our practices. So hope to see you there Tuesday, May 5th, and we'll see you on step 4.